What's up and welcome to the Kinda Funny Gamescast for Thursday, August 28th, 2025. Of course, I am your host, Tim Geddes. I'm joined today by Blessing Adeoye Jr.
Good day, Tim.
And Greg Miller.
Hello, Tim.
How are you, Bless?
I'm tired.
You tired?
Yeah, I told the story on KHD, but I woke up to go to the gym this morning. Gym closed for renovations. And so I came home. I got the code to Lost Soul side, so I just streamed an hour of that instead.
Yeah.
Yeah, and so I didn't get my morning movement like I usually do, but
Do some
I'm
jumping
here.
jacks.
Sure. No, I'm not going to do that.
That's what you got to do. Yeah, this wasn't today, but I was very tired yesterday.
Sure.
For a story that I'm going to be honest with you guys. I'm embarrassed to tell you, but I'm
Love
going
it.
to because that's what we do here. We're open, transparent about everything. I watched Mark Maron's stand-up special on HBO. Utterly fantastic. Required viewing. So goddamn good. Have you seen him going around doing his little...
I've seen the clips
the
and interviews
podcast
and stuff.
tour,
Yeah,
just
yeah.
destroying motherfuckers.
Yeah.
It's been great. But the special is like, oh, it's the art behind the shit talk. It's fantastic stuff. But it's really, really, really real to the point that I had nightmares.
Oh, my
A
God.
stand-up special gave me nightmares.
Oh, my God.
You don't hear that a lot in comedy.
You really don't.
unless
You
you're a
really-
comedian.
But that's just where we're at in the world. You know what I mean?
Sure.
Just some of the things he said, I'm like, and I don't want to spoil anything, but it's like, I just
I don't wanna
watch
watch it now.
watch it and see what happens. But
I got
yeah,
enough to be scared
it's,
about.
You know, it's a scary world out there. How you doing, Greg?
I'm great, Tim. How are you?
Yeah. You know, I've been better in a
been
pre-nightmare world from stand-up comedy.
You'll get over it, though.
I will.
Like, what was the nightmare? Do you want to get... What was
I mean,
the
just
nightmare?
like, you know, just
the end of the world? Or-
Yeah, just kind of
Bad
like the,
things already
hey, like
go.
at a certain point, like if the end of the world actually comes, what are we going to do?
Yeah.
I'm fucked. I'm so fucked. My Pomeranians are fucked.
Yeah.
Pomeranian.
You know what I mean?
Honestly, yeah. It's
Like, just like,
they don't
I'm
have
s-
survival
I'm
instincts.
sitting here thinking, just like if shit hits the fan, where am I going? Who am I going to?
I mean,
Who's
we're
the
back.
crew?
We're back to the zombie movie. Do you want to survive in that world?
I mean, that's where I'm at.
Do you want to
We
survive?
know
There's not
that
going to be any
about
more
me.
video games. We're sitting around a little fucking campfire, roasting squirrels. I'm good.
I kind of had a nightmare last night, but it was like less scary and more stressful. It was I had a dream that one of my friends, they were auditioning for a role in a play that was like about Pinocchio.
About Pinocchio.
Yeah, it was like a Pinocchio, or maybe
About his lies,
maybe,
perhaps?
Yeah, about Pinocchio's lies. Yeah, that was
Yeah.
the name of the play actually, Pinocchio's lies. And they were offered a role that wasn't the role that they auditioned for, but they were gonna pay them $80,000 on
Oh,
the
God,
dot.
do that.
Like
Take
right now,
that.
we're like, we're gonna give you $80K right here, and they're like, no, I want the other role. And
Do it for the love.
for some reason, me as their friend, I was also getting the money, and so it was me looking at them being like,
I love
no,
dreams.
you got to do it. You got, you can't say no to this. We need the money.
We need the money, everybody, because this is the Kind of Funny Gamescast. Each and every weekday, we get together to talk about the biggest reviews, previews, and topics in video games live on YouTube, Twitch, and podcast services around the globe. If you love what we do, and I really hope that you do, you're going to want to get the Kind of Funny membership. It gets you the shows ad-free, and you get a daily exclusive show. Today, the Greg Way is what?
It's me talking about superhero video games.
Cool.
Ooh.
Where the fuck are they?
Where
Thank
are
you.
they? They're
Thank
getting
you.
canceled left and right.
Exactly.
It was nuts. Yesterday, I was thinking about Wonder Woman, as I often do.
Yeah.
And then I remembered Black Panther also got canceled.
Wait,
Yeah.
did it come up? Because I also was thinking about Black Panther yesterday. I said
I
this
don't know.
on KFD right before this.
Yeah.
But I was like sitting yesterday. I was like, man, they canceled a
They
Black
fucking
Panther
canceled
game.
a Black
Do you know how
Panther
well
game.
a Black
EA.
Panther game would do?
Oh my
A
God.
Black Panther game would sell phenomenally.
Oh, we're
Maybe it
so
wasn't good,
fucked.
though, you
Mark
know?
Maron's right.
true.
For a chance to be part of this show, submit your thoughts and opinions as YouTube SuperChats as we go. Just like True Authorian did, saying birthday tax. Can't wait for the full ZA review from KF's only Pokemon fan soon. Also, it's actually
That's
the
me.
28th this week. Greg, how do you feel?
Good.
I like
This has
how
been
it's
an ongoing-
evolved into you being the only fan. Not
The
the,
only true
biggest.
one.
Just God.
You know what I mean? The only true one. No one's
Such a
talked
piece
about
of shit.
Pokemon until I got it.
We definitely don't talk about it
You
enough.
know what I mean?
We don't make enough Pokemon content.
That's true.
We don't do
That's
the
what I've been saying.
streams. We don't do the conversations.
I'm here now, Bless.
We don't
We'll
do
make
the
it happen.
reactions.
Did I dream all of those?
None of those
Doesn't
happen.
happen.
Shit, dude.
Not without Greg.
Little housekeeping for you. We're an 11-person business all about live talk shows. Games Daily was all about where the hell the Lost Souls Aside reviews are. After Gamescast, after this.
It was a reasonable conversation, yeah?
Oh, I got real mad. I got
Y'all
real
blessed
mad.
and hot.
But like, I think, Chad, you let me know. I think I did a good job of keeping composed, not showing my anger. On the inside, I was fuming. It was one of those ones where one super chat like set me off.
set you off.
I couldn't focus for the rest of the show. Like there were so many stumbles while reading because I was just fucking mad at the one super chat that was like, "How can you tell me about this game that you only played an hour of?" I played an hour of the fucking game this morning.
He's telling you what he did.
They gave me
and
the
what he
code
thinks
this
about
morning.
it. God.
Just seems
after
early
this-
for you to come in and give a scored review after an hour.
I didn't score it.
It's wild.
I told you I played an hour, and I told you what
Your score was too good. Or was it
sounds
too bad? It
disingenuous
was both.
blessing.
Wait until you hear how much Pokemon Z-Day I played.
Oh,
Hopefully
God.
more than an hour.
We'll see.
We'll see, everyone. Then after this, we have Prey in review, returning to Predator in review. I can't wait to talk to the boys about this one. And then after that, the stream is a bussy or whatever the hell it's called. Abyssus. I don't even
Abyssus.
know what it actually is.
Oh, pussy.
Yeah,
We're
Mike
going
called it a
to
bussy,
bussy.
so it's a bussy.
And then if you're a kind of funny member, of course, you get the Gregory we were just talking about superhero video games. Then thank you to our Patreon producers, Carl Jacobs, Omega Buster, and Delaney the Psalm Twining. Today we're brought to you by X-Real, but we'll tell you all about that later. For now, let's start with the topic of the show. Greg Miller played Pokemon Legends Z to A, went to Pokemon World Championships in Anaheim, and is finally ready to give his official review of Scarlet and Violet.
Hello, I'm the world's biggest Pokemon fan, and I finally made it. I'm excited to finally be here. I've been bursting at the seams ready to talk about this. I have not talked to any of you about the game, about Worlds, Violet here and there, but you know what I mean. Like, it's an exciting situation to be in, Tim, and I'm excited as the man who is now the #1 Pokemon fan. Kind of funny.
Wow.
You're a man who's destined to review ZA itself, Legend Z to A. Did you know that? Pokemon Legend ZA, I had heard Z2 when I showed up to the demo and I'm standing there and they said Pokemon Legend Z to A. I was like, okay.
Yeah.
Already a new scoop.
We knew when they explained what the gimmick of this game is,
Yes.
of like
Yeah.
doing the whole
Of
the
course, ranking up. Yeah.
alphabet battle. Or
Which
whatever the fuck it's called.
was that recent or was that like a while
That was
ago?
the Pokemon Presents that we just got.
that we
pretty
just
sure.
got. Okay.
Yeah,
Because
not
I don't
too
think
long ago.
I didn't realize until that where I was like, oh, you're going from Z to A. Because in my mind it was like an X and Y. Like,
Well, it is
thing.
that too.
Yeah.
Because the Pokemon Zygarde.
Double entendre. Don't even ask me how.
Yeah, exactly. Exactly. Greg, I have a lot of things I want to talk to you about, but
Yeah,
I
of
feel
course.
like we got to start with the big one because you are the only person now, kind of funny, that has played the latest Pokemon game coming in just a few short months. Pokemon Legends Z to A. And like Bless was saying, I'm sure you sat there, you had a big meaty preview, you must
Sure.
have played at least an hour of this game, correct?
Of course. Oh, no. So they flew me to Anaheim and sent me to Pokemon Worlds for multiple days, and I played 2 sections of the game, and they were 10 minutes apiece, Bless.
Oh,
Yeah. So tell me all about your 20 minutes with Pokemon Legends Z
So
to
yeah, they
A.
were broken up into 2 sections. The first section being you're into a battle zone. Of course, Pokemon Legends Z to A is not your traditional Pokemon. It is not what we're coming off of with Scarlet and Violet, of course. This is back to more like a Legends Arceus thing, which even then seems like it's going to be quite different. I say that seems to be because we didn't get free roam, right? We basically got dropped into this battle zone, which is this section as you see right now on your screen that has a red border around it. But before, when we came in, there was a map and there was the red border. It was nighttime. This is when the kids go out into the streets and do Pokemon battles. Everyone does, as you see. I am fighting some accountant right now. This is not my footage, but it basically is exactly what we did. You go into these battle zones. What we were set up here is an early mission here in the story, right? Where you are rank Z, or you're not even rank Z. I think you're the thing below that. You're trying to get your rank up to get in there so you can be a part of it. You are going into this, you're getting ready for the Z to A Royale. So you need to beat these trainers so that you can get your ticket points to get in there and get out and go. So you need to get 3 wins in this area. This is all incredibly tutorial. So it was that I did the 3, literally as you see here, where they're explaining, of course, that as you run around in here, you need to sneak up on people. So there's this, so you have the advantage in starting the battle. If you come around a corner and they see you first, they attack you, they get a critical hit, you're off to the races right away. Whereas if you crouch down, hide behind blocks and bricks as you're about to see, you can sneak up on the enemy and go and get there easy. Easy, super simple stealth, but it was a nice wrinkle to what's going on because, of course, if you've been living under a rock and haven't paid attention, or maybe you're a new Pokemon fan like myself, this is not a turn-based game. This is an active battle system. So our box of faces is covering up the lower left of the screen right now, which if we could remove it, is all your Pokemon. You see their health bars. You can call them in and out as you see fit, always having one on the field with the D-pad. I believe it's, I actually screenshotted it here. Yeah, send out is up, call back is down. Then once they're out and you're targeting with ZL, you can use your face buttons then to choose the attacks that you also see up there. So now you see on that screen those Thundershock, Tackle, etc. You have it. What's interesting about this, and this is something that even though I'm now gajillion hours into Violet or whatever, didn't even clock it that there is no PP attached to it. I saw Casey's IGN preview call that out. The fact that this is just all cooldown. You're casting these spells, you're throwing these things out. That's what it's all about, to go out and attack these things. And again, you get out there, you feel up the matchup. Again, call back, send out at will. I just listened to Casey's preview from IGN, which is great. You should go watch it, obviously, or read it as well. And one of the things Casey called out in there was the fact of like, oh, to me, this is more of an MMO with you cast rather than an action game you casting. And what I thought was interesting is after playing it and really marinating, I was like, oh, this is so much like the show. Right now, of course, my Pokemon obsession, which is legitimate, not the bit of me yelling at Tim about the review, is totally fueled by Ben's obsession with Pokemon right now. And so the reason I restarted Violet like whatever, a year ago before the Switch and then paused to get ready for Switch 2 was the idea that Ben and I started watching the show with Ash and all them, and it's my first time ever, right? Because I was a little too old when it originally debuted in America and so on and so forth. And so watching that, it's been fun to be like, oh man, like the show is so different than the game and how the battles happen. And I saw Patrick Klepek recently, of course, does amazing work and has an amazing newsletter Substack that's all about being a parent in this. And he's doing a similar thing where showing his daughter the games and then them being like, well, can we do this? Can we dodge? And he's like, well, you can't make your guy dodge that way. That's not how it actually is. Where this game, you still can't make that your character or your Pokemon that's on the field dodge, but it is you're calling out just like Ash does, right? When he goes out there and has Pikachu battle like
I'm
Ash
sure with voice acting, right? You call out, you actually call out.
Of course not, Tim.
Okay.
It's still Pokemon. It is still Pokemon. It is still going to have all the, tried and true shortcomings, I think, that you come to expect from a Pokemon game. But the battle system, while in some ways unwieldy and like what the fuck is going on, like to be tossed in there, and especially for me as somebody who's so new to the franchise and really getting into the minutia of it, I found enjoyable. I did find it to be chaotic. I think, as I get in there and I really settle in with whatever my team will end up being, it'll be easier for me to be like, okay, cool, I'm going to throw this person out as you see here. I'd have Fletchling go after the Weedle or whatever and know I should be using this, I should be using that, call this person back, blah. For these first 3 battles that were, for all intents and purposes, brain dead because they're tutorials, it was easy enough to go. The really fun thing was when we beat the 3 battles and you got your tickets, they were like, all right, before the demo officially ends, there will be one other person around the corner. They're high level if you want to see what, and we all went in and got our heads kicked in or whatever. I guess someone on the floor did beat them, like in the demo, like some Pokemon master went in there with the incredibly low level team and was able to either beat them or get them almost beaten, which I thought was pretty cool. But that wasn't a press person. That was just someone at Pokemon Worlds. So that was the first part of the demo. Run through, do this, battle that. Second part was going after this Mega Evolution. This is, making the headlines today because your boy, Hawlucha, has a Mega Evolution. He's got 2 great trailers. Yeah, great. I mean, he's the best Pokemon. Look at that little wrestler right there. You know what I mean? He's the best.
More than Porygon?
Yes. Oh, yeah. More than Porygon and, of course, more than... Shit, fuck, hold on. Pumpkaboo. Pumpkaboo. I do love Pumpkaboo has fallen to second place, Porygon to third place.
I don't know if you heard this on KFG.
Sure.
I was telling Mike that I want to do a thing where each of us, we make a Pokemon party for you.
Sure.
Right? Like we choose 6 Pokemon that we think, all right, this should be Greg's 6, and we have you judge like which 6 do you like the most?
Oh, sure. I love that.
Not that you have to commit to it as your 6.
No. I like that.
Yeah,
I like this little Pokemon fashion show.
Yeah.
Yeah, I like that.
I mean, do you have like a formed party in your head? Because I feel like between Hawlucha, Porygon, Pumpkaboo, that might be 3 already, right?
Oh, yeah. And I would toss Machamp in there. I'm a big fan of him, yeah. If we want to jump.
I say we jump. Why not? This is a free-flowing, fun time here.
Throw up the squad! Of course, I've been playing the shit out of Pokemon Violet, and I did want to come in and give my squad all the love they deserve and go through it. So I did throw up an image there, running through the team here. This is straight screenshot from my. You will notice some things out of it. What are you wowing?
The levels.
Oh, thank you so much.
Level 100.
I'm not joking. I'm playing Pokemon. I really, really enjoy Pokemon.
I mean, Ogre Pond there. That's from the DLC.
Let's get there slowly, okay?
Yeah.
So I would have told you, of course, starting off, if you were like, Greg, let's talk about your Pokemon. Let's talk about it. And you're talking to me as I started the game, I would have said, well, Quackers is going to be at the top of the list. Of course, as you can see there are 2 people here who are codenamed. We have Quackers on there who is Quaquaval. Did I say that right? Because I'll tell you right now, his name I had to look it up. He's Quackers. He's goddamn Quackers. I don't know this man's name. I, as a newcomer to the franchise,
I'd say Quacklava.
Okay.
But
I don't think that's
wrong.
It's definitely
Lava
not.
Lol.
Yeah.
Yeah, you got an L at the end. Doesn't matter.
Cockavole? No.
I'll call him Cockable if you want.
Yeah.
Anyways,
Quackavole?
I started
If
Pokemon.
they told me, maybe I'd know.
I've played
Rayquaza?
Let's Go before, and I've tinkered with other games and yada yada. But like when Violet was coming out, and I was like, I'm gonna be all in on this. I got it. I got my team. I gave them all cute nicknames because that's what I thought you do in Pokemon. But as someone who doesn't know Pokemon, I don't know the sacred texts. This worked against me to such a degree of like, I know I spent how many hours with Quackers, but I couldn't tell you his God-given name or anything. So it was like this up and down. And like, you see Quackers on there, of course, Quackavole, and then you have Jaguar. That's what Ben renamed Persian. So yeah, this is my squad that I've rocked with for quite some time, with Ogerpon being the exception, even Hawlucha for that moment. But Altaria there at the top, a level 100. This is a love affair that I began. I just didn't know I would need this blessing, where I was in whatever battle in the game, just getting my head kicked in. It might have been when I was complaining about, remember I said something and everybody made fun of me. I did a Greg way about Pokemon Violet being hard in quotes. And everybody's like, oh, everybody read it on the show. Like, Greg's an idiot. And it was like, well, no, it's just one battle where it's like, I need a specific type, whatever Altaria, what is she, Flying Ice? I needed an Altaria, right? Where I was like, I just didn't have anybody on my squad leveled up to do that, right? And so I would have told you at the beginning of all this, Quackers from start to finish would be MVP of this team. But it was Altaria who came in, saved the fucking day, clowned out the one thing that was, giving me trouble or whatever. Oh, that was it. Beating the university head, when he's acting like Clive or whatever. I know you're not Clive, you stupid idiot. When I had to fight him outside the school, whatever, he had somebody on. Oh, the guy who Flower Drop, it was doing the drop shot on me every time. That doesn't matter. Don't worry about it. But I'm Googling and I'm using my charts or whatever. And I was like, I found
to do this. Like, he's a student.
He acts like a student. He's not a student.
He's undercover.
He's the
playing.
He's the headmaster undercover.
Yes. Okay.
Yeah. It's a
I was thinking of a different guy.
Cute little story. Anyways, though, I needed Altaria stepped in, and once Altaria did that, it was like you're God tier. You're with me the whole way. You're above Quackers. I'm sorry, Quackers takes me. We've all heard my complaints about Quackers before. Quackers starts very cute. I feel like I got duped. I was sold a false bill of goods.
That's how it is.
Okay. Pokemon Violet drops. Which one of these guys you want? When I originally started Violet, my first playthrough, I did Fuecoco. Named him Fuego del Sol. I'm like, here we go. We're going to do some stuff. When I restarted, I was like, you know what? I got problems that he looks like a Trump duck, but he's a cute Trump duck. So, like, get on the team and let's go. And then this guy just evolved to be uglier and uglier until here we are, this fucking figure skater, all right?
Well,
I don't know.
rad.
Circus, so I'm like, I do not vibe with you, Quackers, but you've been there the whole time. Thank you. You mentioned Ogerpon next. Come on. Ogerpon, of course, from the first DLC here, of course. We get
Which
in there.
is, by the way, the fact that Greg has this Pokemon from the end of the first DLC. That shows how into this he
Well,
is.
I mean, the numbers impress people too. So, yeah, this isn't a joke. We can get into my obsession with Pokemon as well.
Oh, that's yeah. We'll wait to get into that.
No, I mean, like, for
I'm
real,
joking,
for
I'm
what we're doing. Ogerpon, when they're like, we got in, so it's a little bit of spoilers here for the DLC, all right? The first one, Area 0. Yeah, Part 1.
Well, Area 0 is the place in Paldea.
Don't they call it Area 0 Part 1?
It's the mystery of
the
Area,
treasure,
the treasure, whatever the fuck.
It is. Part 1 of the DLC. They set this thing up that, guess what? There was this fucking ogre, this monster. These 3 Pokemon chased it off, and I'm like, oh man, this thing's gonna look horrendous. We go to the fucking festival of town, and this little dewdrop shows up, and he's running around, and I'm like, I'm annoyed at first. I'm like, you're cute, but whatever. You know what I mean? And of course, I'm new to all this. I didn't expect that he's going to join the team. He's going to join the squad. He joins the squad, and I'm like, well, I'll never fucking use you. And then it was like the next thing I was like, you need a grass type. I'm like, oh, I don't have a level. Oh, but Ogerpon is grass type. And with the masks, I can switch him out to be also. Ogerpon, I apologize.
Wow.
Okay, I apologize. I did not know how cool you were. You are now one of the squad members. You are I'm ride or die for Ogerpon, and it was a big deal when we got our first pack of trading cards at Pokemon World, which we'll talk about. Who did we pull? Ogerpon.
Wow.
He was
Wow.
there. He was there for me. You know what I mean? When I'm walking on the beach and there's one set of footprints, it's because Ogerpon was carrying me. Think about it.
Beautiful.
Behind Ogerpon is Jaguar. Again, this is Persian. This is a level 81 on my team. Ogerpon's level 83. Quackers is 90. Altaria is 100 if you're an audio listener. Jaguar, of course, named by Ben. when I started getting my wheels here and I was like, all right, I'm getting serious about Pokemon, turned it on, Ben jumped in, and of course the first thing you want to do is once he found out you could name him, he wanted to rename everybody for me. So he renamed Jaguar, or Persian Jaguar, which I'm fine with and I like. And Jaguar, just a strong guy. You know what I mean? Just out there doing what he's got to do. No frills, but he's got bite. He's out there doing the moves I need.
This is definitely not a favorite, I would say, in late game content.
Sure.
Persian, you know what I mean? Normally, like they end up getting the cut somewhere along the line. But when you have a nickname, there's some.
There's a history, the
sentimental
background,
value.
the normal moves he's tossing. I'm like, I can use these. I like that. Okay. Then you got Belly Bolt. Belly Bolt, another one who showed up, and I'm like, I don't know about this business. And he, for a while, was running neck and neck with Big Bird. Big Bird, I don't have on here. I forgot to pull him. He's the yellow Pokemon that then has like the tall neck. He looks like a Big Bird to me. I can find him if we need to during ad break to give you his actual name or whatever. But he was another electric type Pokemon who I'd been using quite a bit. And then Belly Bolt got in there. And they were kind of the Brothers of Destruction. They kind of had this thing going on where it's like just double electric moves fucking people up. And I forget.
Belly Bolt is one that is heavily featured in like raids and endgame stuff.
Well, and that was why Belly Bolt's still here and Big Bird isn't at the moment. Big Bird, at some point, just wasn't getting it done. Belly Bolt started, I think, leveling faster, level 88.
Chat's saying Ampharos. Is that what you're talking about?
That's the dude.
Decidedly
that's the
not a
dude.
bird?
Yeah, he's definitely not a bird. It's funny because in my
Looks
brain,
like Big Bird.
in my
Looks like
brain
Big
when
Bird.
you said yellow and not long neck, I was like, Ampharos? But there's no way.
My apologies. First off, look at his little hands. He got any fingers? No, those are wings then. He's a bird.
I mean,
Thank
he's
you.
probably the closest Pokemon to Big Bird.
Yeah, exactly.
Aside from like Electabuzz. maybe.
Again, this is where I fuck myself, where you name him on as soon as you get him.
Zapdos,
I
perhaps.
name him.
Oh,
and then it's
Zapdos
almost-
is a big yellow bird. Yeah, no, that's a good call.
Electabuzz.
Belly
I was
Bolt.
thinking proportions.
Belly Bolt's got me out of so many jams out there, just dropping the electricity, clearing the field. Gotta love him. Appreciate it. He'll always have a spot on the team. And then level 83 is Hawlucha, my favorite Pokemon. Hawlucha came on late. Someone, I think, finally BS'd me. That's Blue Sky, Tim. And said, Greg, are you even aware that there's a luchador wrestling Pokemon named Hawlucha? And I was like, what the fuck? And it was one of those, drop everything. We're cracking the wikis. Where can I go find him? And immediately went and got a Hawlucha. So I've been trying to power level him up.
I obviously would understand
Level
if you would
83 now.
remember this, Greg.
Yeah.
But the reason that I went to Mexico, we're not talking about all the secret things I did,
Yeah.
but it was to get Halucha.
Yeah, that's right. You
Exclusive to
did.
Mexico
I don't
City.
remember that. I remember you had an exclusive
In
guy there.
Pokemon Go.
Right
Yeah.
now, with the announcement today, I got BS. That's a Blue Sky, Tim. About all this Hawlucha, Mega Evolution stuff. Amazing trailers. I made Ben watch it in the car on the way to school today. There's some crossover in Mexico going on where they're doing like a Hawlucha event at one of the Lucha Libre things down there. We should go.
We should go. Drop
so you
everything.
need- you need to
I
watch
do
that.
want to talk about those real quick, just because can you bring up the Halucha hype trailer, Barrett? Because today they announced Mega Halucha, and they did it in a really cool little animated short. That's this was the
This is
gameplay
actual
one.
gameplay. Can we see the other one?
Yeah, the other one it's Halucha versus Machamp.
So,
this,
did you
like-
see this, Bless?
Yeah, we talked about it on KFC.
So good.
Super fun little animated thing, like debuting Mega Halucha for the first time. And I love it because in addition to this really cool little short, Barrett, if you could switch over now to the Victory Bell hype trailer. A week or two ago, they did the same thing for Mega Victory Bell,
Yeah, we watched
announcing
that on the shit,
that.
too.
And it was like a super different, like Resident Evil almost kind of. Did you see this?
Yeah, I didn't like it.
Yeah, it's a lot. It looks like many things that you don't want to talk about.
Yeah.
But what I appreciate about them going this different route, like this kind of found footage, scary thing of them eventually crossing paths with Mega Victory Bell for the first time.
Oh, I didn't see this.
Oh, dude. Yeah.
You just saw the ball sack looking.
Yeah, I just saw Victory Bell hopping around looking like a ball sack from South Park, but this is fucking freaky.
Yeah.
Yeah, this does look like Resident Evil. I thought Barrett was trolling us. Jesus.
Like this is the debut. And I just want to say from a marketing perspective, I love this because these are the type of things that make these Mega Evolutions stand out more than as opposed to just, hey, there's 19 new Mega Evolutions. They all kind of
Yeah.
like feel the same.
Yeah.
And all the gameplay stuff just kind of looks the same. But when you do this, it adds that personality that like this stuff will stick with you in the future. And I just think that's really cool that they're going the extra mile for this because they don't always do that. So shout out to y'all for trying.
Yeah.
Now, as I have, of course, celebrated Hawlucha across the internet since finding him and discovering him and really bringing him to relevancy to get him into this game, so many people have come at me with Incineroar.
Yeah.
Yeah.
He's the wrestling heel Pokemon. And I look at him and I just don't vibe the same. Like when I think wrestling Pokemon, obviously the Lucha Libre, of course, but then Machamp. He's got a championship belt. He's doing his goddamn thing.
I
Like
think of him more
Incineroar's
as
got
like
a
an
belt
MMA
made of
fighter.
fire.
Yeah, see,
I hear
thought
you, but he
boxer.
just looks like he looks like he's gonna fight Shadow the Hedgehog or Sonic the Hedgehog.
Play-
and I'm
play him
not
in Smash
arguing. I'm not
Brothers.
saying he's not cool.
Play him in Smash Brothers.
Okay.
See if that changes your mind at all.
I just he doesn't scream wrestling at a glance like Halucha and Machamp do. That's all I'm saying. I'm not saying I'm not
Can
going to
you
get him on
bring
the
up
team. I'm
Machamp?
not going to say I'm not going to make a whole wrestling team.
What you said?
I'm asking bring up Machamp because Machamp I've always associated with boxing, but I guess now that I'm looking at him,
Oh, that makes sense though too. I understand that.
yeah.
But then
He's
we
a
just saw
UFC
him
guy,
wrestle Halucha here in this video.
I guess Machop. Yeah, you're right. It's like UFC actually makes more sense
Yeah.
because Machop,
MMA, you can do it all.
Machoke.
You
Yeah,
can
in
wrestle
MMA you
if
can
you
do it
want.
all. Mixed martial
Yeah,
arts. That's what the first
by
M stands
definition.
for.
Yeah, it's crazy. Anyways, back to. Do you have anything else to say about Za?
Well, I want to keep getting. We're talking about my team. One thing I do want to shout out two honorable mentions. All right, number one, Torkoal. He added to the team late. He's only a level 74 right now in Pokemon Violet. Like him a lot. He's like honestly the first fire Pokemon I've really fucked with throughout this entire thing. So he's cool. We're early stages of our relationship though. But I really want to give a shout out and an apology for not making the final cut to Benny DeBull. This is another one we renamed. He's a Tauros.
Oh,
What type of Tauros? Just straight Tauros?
Just straight normal
Okay.
Tauros. Another guy who got me out of so many jams where everybody's fainting or whatever, and then he would come in, do the thing, spin around, double kick him, and like fucking
Double kick, okay.
knock him out.
You're a
And so
normal boy.
He's only a level
Yeah.
61. I am.
The
He-
normal gym leader, Greg Miller.
that's me, everybody.
which
The most abnormal person. He's only level 61 though, but it was like for those 61 levels, we were fucking with him hard, and then it was like, Benny, I need the spice, I need the moves, I need the counters. You know what I mean? I can't just have you out there doing normal stuff. So he's been riding the bench a long time, but I'll never forget him.
wow, I never took Greg as a normal gym leader, but I feel like now I think about it, I can see it a little bit.
It actually
That's
makes a lot
not
of
as insulting as it sounds, by the way, Greg.
Oh, I don't take it as insulting. No. And I think it honestly is 100% true based on my gameplay styles. You know, I usually am that guy in a game where it's like, here's your basic weapon, and I'm like, all right, I start pouring XP shit into it, and they're like, well, here's this thing. I'm like, no, I'm already so far on the road to making this weapon the most powerful thing in the world. Why would I switch over to whatever electricity special kind of thing? This will make sense later on in a future review. Even more so. Back to Pokemon Legends Z to
Keep
A.
that
though.
nug in your
Keep
mind,
that-
guys.
That's what we call a teaser, a breadcrumb for you. I think overall, I mean, I'm talking about how it works and plays, right? I think it's worth calling out for this. I didn't want to talk about the second demo as well, but the first demo, the first thing I thought after playing so much Pokemon Violet was, holy shit, this looks great. And I think Pokemon Violet on Switch 2 runs really well and is crisp and whatever, but whatever. It's still Pokemon Violet. And I think this is still Pokemon, but really crisp colors, and I'm playing on a TV, not handheld. Really crisp colors, really great animations. It's the same thing usual where it's not as many shadows as I'd like. It doesn't, I mean, they're doing, you see it in the gameplay.
I'm surprised you're saying you think this looks good.
I thought, well, I mean, again, maybe it's this, not only had I been playing Violet at this point, I had been going backwards, where we can talk about that in a second, but I'm a gajillion hours into Violet, but then I went back and was doing Legends Arceus, and then I was back to doing Sword and Shield as well.
Best looking one.
So it was like, and I agree, actually. That's a good one. In terms of style.
I mean, 100%.
I don't think it holds up. Yeah.
I think the wild areas are the only ugly things in Sword and Shield. Otherwise, beautiful games.
This one I thought really crisp visuals, really ran well. I like the bright colors of it. That's something I kind of feel like I don't get enough of in Violet is a vibrancy of it. I thought this section was really vibrant of the game. Section 2 of the demo, the next 10 minutes were a big boss fight. This was a Mega Evolution. I follow a Zygarde. That's how I pronounce
That's the
it.
Z.
Huh?
Normally, the Pokemon games would have the red, blue, and then the yellow version, or there's always the third version for X and Y Gen 6. We all expected there would be Pokemon
my
Z.
boy.
We never got it, and so that's kind of what we're getting here.
We're
with this
finally getting
Legends.
them.
As you see, he takes you up to a rooftop here where you find a rogue Mega Evolution Absol, I assume. Absol. And you get into this big boss battle with them. So interesting stuff here in terms of a few different things. The normal battles with the Pokemon trainers, you're throwing your Pokemon out there. They're doing the moves you command. Congratulations. That's great. Up here in the battle with a Mega Evolution, and then also in the wild ones, you can be hit as well. Not in your trainer battles, but in the other ones. So you have to dodge roll a lot in this one. I think when I looked at screenshots of this beforehand, I was like, man, this looks basic as hell and not ugly, but like not visually interesting. Playing it, I think it was the most exciting section of the game compared to the battles, which again, we're frantic and crazy and I don't know what I'm exactly doing and I'm throwing out these Pokemon that aren't mine or whatever. But getting in here, there is this, all right, he's getting ready to do this AoE attack. Everybody, you run out and your Pokemon chases you, Lucario here, right? You also, though, have to dodge to miss his attacks, but then you're picking up this, what do they call it? The orbs that are mega power that are falling off him to fill up your mega gauge down there so that you can mega evolve Lucario and have him go out and then do the moves to actually be able to fight him right up against it. But you got to run from this ring of death. That your moves get more powerful as you go. You can, of course, pause, go into your menu, apply a potion, apply a spray or whatever. But this was the part where it was like, oh, this is challenging isn't the right word, but I guess it is. I mean, it's not like obviously fucking Souls combat or whatever, but this was like, oh shit, hold on a second, I'm getting it over my head, or I need to actually focus on orbs, or I need to get a heal in there or whatever. Granted, these are all first tastes. We'll see how that lasts 3-4 hours in when you've been doing a lot of it. But this was the one where I was like, oh, this is exciting. Okay, I like doing this a lot. Not that I didn't like the other one, but it was very much like, oh fuck, fucking attack this, and what's available, just do this.
It's cool.
Yeah, I'm really excited to play with this different gameplay style. I feel like it's the right call for the Legends franchise, and like what they're doing here with ZA is interesting at the very least. I don't know how much it's going to actually hold up throughout the whole game, but I do like the concept of it being way more active, because I also have been playing a lot more of Scarlet and Violet recently because I never finished the second round of DLC, so I was trying to do it for this. And I am like, oh man, like the turn-based stuff, when you're in it and you're going through like the ranks of like all the Elite Four, or just like actually fighting against trainer after trainer, it's super fun. Just at this point in the game, like going up against a bunch of random like encounters, it's like, this isn't fun. I just want to run away. You know what I mean? Like, this is so slow. I want to keep telling you about a whole bunch of Pokemon stuff all over the place, but we're going to do that after a word from our sponsors. This episode is brought to you by Xreal. As of August 25th, Xreal 1 Pro is finally available on Amazon and BestBuy.com. Plus, it's back in stock now on Xreal.com. A few months ago, my life changed forever when I brought a pair of Xreal 1 Pro AR glasses on a incredibly long flight to New York City. I legit could not believe how easy it was to use and how high quality my experience was playing games with my Steam Deck and watching movies with my phone on the plane on a theater-sized OLED screen right in front of my eyes without too much extra stuff or a giant goofy headset involved. No joke, this is my favorite new piece of tech in years, and it has earned a permanent spot in my travel bag. It's only hard to believe it works as well as I'm saying until you try Xreal AR glasses for yourself, and then you will see that the tech is here. Connect Xreal 1 Pro glasses to whatever you're playing, like a handheld console, PC, phone, or home console, and get a massive 150-inch virtual screen anywhere, anytime for any game. Gaming on the go, like a long flight, you need Xreal 1. Neck starting to hurt from staring down at your handheld? You need Xreal 1. It's plug and play with all your devices via USB-C, built-in audio with sound by Bose, anchoring your screen literally anywhere in space, 1080p Full HD, and you can make it bigger, smaller, farther, closer, ultra-wide, or regular widescreen, horizontal, vertical, even 3D if you have a 3D movie. It's all built in and can be controlled by pressing a few buttons on the glasses. These are what make Xreal 1 Pro a must-have. Xreal 1 Pro is now available on Amazon and BestBuy.com, and from August 25th through September 1st, you can get $50 off if you bundle the Xreal 1 Pro with the Xreal Beam Pro AR mobile device on Amazon or Xreal.com. There is nothing better than when a sponsor of Kinda Funny is something we are legitimately obsessed with. So get yours today at kindafunny.com/Xreal. That's kindafunny.com/Xreal. I want to hear about Pokemon World Championships Anaheim.
Sure.
Very jealous you got to go. I've never been to a Pokemon World Championships. I will make my debut next year, as I imagine all of us here at Kinda Funny will, as we take over World, as it takes over San Francisco. But how was Anaheim's?
It was awesome. Like I was not 1,000% sure what we were getting into. Of course, Pokemon reached out, said, hey, do you want to come down and do this ZA preview? They, of course, reached out to Tim. And then Tim said, I'm no longer able to. I'm no longer the number one Pokemon fan, so I'll give it to Greg. And I said, thank you for realizing what's happening here. And so, yeah, got to go down there, and it was like pretty breakneck speed of what it was all going to look like and how it was going to happen. And so got down there on Wednesday. Doors don't open till Friday, but Wednesday they gave us a private time in the Pokemon Center to go buy stuff. And Barrett, if you want to page through the Pokemon World photo dump one I gave you on Instagram, like I love being a fan of things. Like, I love being a fan. And what I've said from the beginning with Ben, right, is that no matter what Ben's into, I'm going to be into, right? So inevitably, when he likes sports and it's a sport I'm not a fan of, I'm going to be a Giants fan in a way I've never been, other than just being, oh, this is cool. I live in San Francisco. And so him and me falling in love with Pokemon at the same time has been great. But then to get to go to this Pokemon Center and have it be wall to wall to wall in the convention center. You know, the WrestleMania Superstore is the example of what I've been to before of here are all these different things. And, you know, Jordan Midler was there from VGC and we hung out all week long. But when he bumped into me there, he's like, what? Ben was scooping up we bought so many goddamn Pokemon plushies, right?
Oh, yeah.
And he's scooping them up and Midler's like, what are you looking for? And I'm like, I want a Hawlucha, right? And like 5 minutes later, Midler had gone all the way to the other side of the store and come back with my little Hawlucha. He's like, I got you one. I'm like, thank you, sir. I've caught that one. And so it was just this like eyes wide thing of walking through. You know, Jen got to come late a little bit after we had gotten in. We got her and she was on the search for Gengar merch. So it was just like going and finding and everyone there being so stoked about something else that they were finding, whether it was a skateboard or me trying to talk Ben out of trying to buy this. Ben wanted a quick ball or a beast ball that they were selling there with all the other balls, but it was like the $150 collab. I'm like, Ben, we can't throw this ball. This is not what you want. I'm sure they'll have a stuffy Pokeball. They did not have stuffy Pokeballs there. So I was like, at lunch, I ordered one off Amazon for him on top of all the other stuff we got. But I got the shirt I'm wearing. We got the thing. We're getting the tour. We're doing the stuff. There's the photo ops. You know, there's this giant Snorlax I was taking photos with. There's this gigantic wall of plushies throughout the years that I was taking photos with. Like, it was so cool to be there and see people celebrating it. And we were there. This is like the press influencer side or whatever. That was our thing. But then after, I think our session was like noon to 2 or 11 to 2, you could say, for as long as you wanted to. And at 2 is when they opened the store for everybody. But it was also, I was like, oh man, so people can come in and out all week long. Like, oh no, like you have to have a reservation and we've been booked for months. I was like, oh, okay. You know what I mean? Of what that was. And so it was an incredible hype cycle to just be there on it and see all, you know, we've been to Anaheim Convention Center so many times, Tim, for VidCons, for PSX, to see it all decked out for Pokemon, to see all these installations. You know, there was the photo of me with the inflatable Pikachu. That was right out front and all these different things, let alone the cosplay and the people and the stuff. And it was just like, oh, cool. And then that was just on Wednesday before it was really, really open. Thursday, we did a family Disney day. And Wednesday's when I saw Z-Day as well. And then Friday, I got to go to the opening ceremonies and see it all kick off and start. And if, Barry, you can show the video of us entering. We came in, obviously, with the other media folks to go to our assigned seats. And when they opened it up, we were like the first people in that didn't work there. And so this is, you know, Ben coming down the aisleway here, and it's also then the people who are working the events first time seeing a kid. Ben is 3.5, and it was this insane moment here of chain event of this woman starts the high five, goosh, and then every person working this line high fives Ben. Like, I have been desperately trying to find the photos because, of course, I think you might see him even pop in. There's like real photographers here. There's one right there. Like, someone has these photos of him doing this, but like, look at his face. Like, you want to talk about trying to make a core memory for your son at this Pokemon event. Him coming in, getting high fives from everybody. The very like last people gave him his first like real pack of Pokemon cards. And so to settle in, and we settled in, we sat there for like an hour while people filtered in and set it in. And then they kicked this thing off. And in the day and age, Tim, where E3 is dead, this was such a, hey, you are you are at the Sony press conference, the Nintendo press conference. You were at a press conference.
Let's start it with a musical number, everybody. Strap in and watch me dance.
Yeah.
They go hard. Real quick, I want to say the background music to that clip is as Ben's getting high-five walking down the intro, it's the song Road to Viridian City
Way.
The To Be a Master
that's my
soundtrack
cut
playing.
right there.
I saw when you had that on Instagram, like, that's so awesome. And a couple days ago, you texted me something I'm not going to explicitly say what you asked, but you were asking me if I'm familiar with the song, What Kind of Pokemon Are You?
What kind of
course I am.
Pokemon are you?
Of course, baby.
And I didn't say, are you familiar with it? I just said,
I know.
do you
I don't
think
want
it's
to say
as sexual as I think it is?
Yeah, okay.
How do you do the
you know
things
what?
you do?
I get it though. Yeah, no, that makes sense.
Show me secrets deep inside.
It's so good, man. But yeah, I love that this obviously is a franchise that's existed so long, and to see the World Championships and next year Pokemon XP in San Francisco, where they're actually doing more than just the championships, it's being even a bigger celebration of the entire franchise. Like, I love that Road to Viridian City from the To Be a Master soundtrack is still being used. Like, it's still just as relevant now as it was 30 years ago. Like, that's so exciting.
Well, again, like,
to me.
I think I always love being introduced to a new fandom, right? And I talked about this a lot with Monster Jam, of coming and going to Monster Jam's World Championships in Salt Lake City and finding people are like, oh my, you're into this, like I'm into wrestling, and like Poe's into baseball and da-da-da-da. It was the same vibe here where like I'm Jordan Middler. By the way, Jordan Middler from VGC, the big man, as you know. If you haven't heard, he has been promoted. He is officially Uncle Jordan, because him and Ben were inseparable this entire time, all of Wednesday. Then he came to dinner with us. Then he's like, I'd like to go to Disney. I'm like, come with us tomorrow. Jordan Middler went to Disneyland with us the entire time. Amazing. It's to the point, I sent this to, I know you guys already know, when Ben did his Sonic Crossworlds preview this week, Middler sent to our WhatsApp group with me, him, and Jen, but it's really just so Jordan can talk to Ben, this voice memo about how good he did. Ben responded, Middler responded. Like, it's like Uncle Jordan is like, he's the coolest guy. And it's to the point still, when we see a Pokemon we don't know, we've been sending it to the WhatsApp group of like, hey, Uncle Jordan, which Pokemon's this? And he'll immediately respond no matter what time it is, because he's a psychopath. I digress though. When I'm sitting there in the audience waiting for this to start, and they're playing all these old Pokemon songs, Uncle Jordan could not help himself from turning and being like, all right, this is from this, and that's what you hear this song. Everybody you're hearing right now is dead. I'm like, oh no. You know what I mean? I'm like, that's how long it's been around. But yeah, like we added so many of them to the Spotify one. Just Beyond is on the top of my liked Spotify songs, which is one of the live performances they did there. But yeah, they come out.
Yeah, because every year for the World Championships, maybe not every year, but the last couple of years, they put out like an EP of like 5 or 6 songs that are made just for that year's event. And they're all, it's essentially modern To Be a Master type stuff.
Super cool.
Yeah, it was awesome. And then, yeah, like, you know, they come out, they do this. Ben Enraptured. Barrett, if you can toss up the one about Ben taking a video or a photo or whatever. Ben asked for Jen's phone so that he could stand up and he could take photos. Because he saw everybody. It's like, you know, my kid is he's a 3.5-year-old. Monkey see, monkey do. He saw everybody else lifting up their phones, and Ben was like, I got to too. I got to as well. So he's up there taking it. Like, you know, this is like unheard of. We tried to get earplugs in for him. He would not stick with them. He would not deal with it or whatever. But it was awesome and amazing. And, you know, it was a really short start to the whole thing. And then it was like, all right, the Pokemon World Championship has begun. And it was just like people flooded off to go play cards, to go play the game, to go do whatever.
Did you get to see any of the actual competition? Because you weren't there the entire time.
No,
right?
we were there for the kickoff on Friday and left Friday afternoon.
Okay, because some of it is so cool. Like, do you see any of the clips of the trading card game with like the video floor?
No, I didn't see that.
Oh my god,
it is what dreams are made of, man. Like on the video floor, you see like what hands they have and like what cards are in active play. Like they just did such a great job with it. And I can't wait for next year. I think they're gonna go even bigger.
Yeah, and I mean, this was humongous, and it was they had the Pokemon Museum where I walked through and I saw every one of the games with every one of their consoles. I thought that was super cool. There's if you want to toss up the photo, Barrett, of me and Ben in front of the Miraidon, Miraidon. You know what we're talking about here. Yeah, my motorcycle from Violet. I was fucking stoked to see him over there just chilling out. Like, it was such a Disneyland kid in a candy store thing. And so there were so many other events going on that like we had been told leading up throughout the thing of like, there's this, there's that. And then there's like, learn how to play. And Ben really wanted to learn how to play the card game. And so we left this section pretty early and went over there, but the line was already capped. It was like maybe in 45 minutes. We're like, we're going to go. Ben's like, can we go home and play Pokemon Violet? I'm like, yeah, we can go back to the hotel and play it. Here's him ripping his first pack.
Love it.
But now he's playing fucking the TCG Pocket on my phone.
Hell yeah.
You know, he's going through Go doing that as well. He always wants to see it. Super excited for the video games. I have not told him about Legend Seed A yet because I don't want a Donkey Kong situation. Donkey Kong I got asked about every other day for months. So we will wait. He will see Zod himself when it arrives and we're reviewing it.
Is there like a Pokemon thing you're most excited to introduce him to? Like you said, the cartoon is like the main way he's interacting with it and the toys and stuff, right? But like, do you look at the video games and you're like, oh man, he's gonna absolutely love this? Or do you look at the cards or like, is there a specific thing?
No. You don't understand. He's already playing the video games.
Oh, okay.
This was my summer break here with him for the 2 weeks. Like, if you remember, I was leaving and I'm like, I am going to Tahoe. I'm going to the World Championships. I'm only going to pack my Switch. I'm only going to play my Switch 2. I am only going to play Pokemon Violet because I want to have it wrapped up so we can review it when I get back and I can be all locked in and tell you about my team and yada, yada, yada. What I, of course, didn't foresee was Ben seeing me playing it and being like, can I have it? And I'm like, oh, well, yeah. So it's like Ben, like I would do something and then Ben would want to play it and I would pass it. That's why I went back to Arceus. That's why I went back to Sword and Shield, is that I picked up the other Switch too. And I was like, all right, I want to play. I can't play my game because he's playing it. And Jen has Scarlet. So we started a new Scarlet thing. Didn't hit the same way. He wanted the Pokemon he's already captured. He wanted his boxes. He knows his, like, have no frame of reference for kids in video games. So I knew something was awry this GDC when I was talking to a developer and he's like, yeah, does Ben have interest? I'm like, oh, he plays Forza. He plays, and like, no, but like you play it for him. I'm like, no. He picks up and I showed him, and he's like, my daughter is 7 years old and she doesn't know. And I still get it in the Greg way of like, my kid's the same age as Ben, but it's still just a palm on the controller trying to move the stick. Like, Ben knows games, and he knows it disturbingly well for Pokemon, especially right now, where he is like, he knows how to go to the boxes. He knows how to switch out the team.
I went over for dinner a couple weeks ago, and Ben was playing next to me, and I was shocked at like seeing him navigate the menus. Where I'm like,
that's crazy.
This kid can't read. You know what I mean? Definitively, this kid can't read, but like he knows what he's doing. And like, it brought me back to being a dumbass kid too.
Same.
But like,
yeah.
But I wasn't 3 years old. You know what I mean? It was wild, man. He was like stoked about catching a Scyther, and I'm like, yeah, man, me too, bro.
Damn.
Oh my god. And like, here's the other thing we'll talk about. All right, I'm gonna copy this image. I'm gonna toss it into assets. But how many weeks ago was that when you came through with a lovely 3 weeks or whatever? And I tossed this in. I think it'll work. Maybe not. I don't know. I'm trying to copy out of an image. You let me know if it actually shares or whatever. Yeah, here they are playing Pokemon together. Tim and Ben at the kitchen table. 3 weeks ago they came over. We've played a lot of Pokemon since then. We don't, and of course, kids' brains, they're empty. They got nothing clanking around like we do. You're trying to remember your fucking third grade algebra teacher or whatever. This morning, we're putting on shoes, and I asked permission. I'm like, can I bring Hawlucha? I need because like this was almost another thing at the Pokemon Center where it was like I got the Hawlucha, and then Ben's like, all right, are you gonna get your own? And I was like, all right. We bought him when we left, and Ben was like, all right, cool. But he had his team of other Pokemon he had bought, and he's like, I bought. He's like, so can I have Hawlucha and you go buy your own Hawlucha? And I was like, well, no, it's, but you can keep him. It's fine. He doesn't need to be on my desk, Ben. It's totally fine. Don't worry about it. Blah, blah, blah. And he was like, okay, fine. But so like today was I had to ask permission if I could take out. Barrett's response in assets was Windows doesn't like it. I'm going to try to convert it. Hold on. Let me screenshot it. Then
HEIC files.
Yeah, I think so. I think Jen took it on her phone. So it's like the weird one, or maybe Gia did. That's just a screenshot of my thing as a PNG. That should be easier for you. I was like, okay, whatever. Today I was like, can I bring Hawlucha? And he's like, yeah, no problem. Great. And so we're sitting there putting on shoes and put on the shirt. And he's like, I like your shirt, Daddy. I'm like, thanks. And then out he goes. 3 weeks later, did you know Uncle Tim's favorite Pokemon is Scyther? And I was like, is it?
Wait,
and he's like,
hilarious.
yeah. And I'm like, yeah. He's like, yeah. I'm like, are you sure? He's like, yeah. He's like, ask him today.
That's funny.
And I totally forgot about it.
Not my favorite, but one of my faves for sure.
Yeah.
That is awesome. I did say that I really love Scyther, Tim. That's so funny.
Yeah, here's Uncle Tim showing him his Pokemon Go collection. If I believe.
Yeah.
But no. So
funny.
like Ben is all in on it. So it's like if anything, what I'm excited for would be the next generation of Pokemon when it will be. Cool. You're getting, we got them both. You're A, I'm B. Let's play side by side and the trade and do the whole thing.
It's going to be awesome. Man.
Yeah.
Gen 10 is going to be, hopefully, such a great jump on point. I mean, it being the 30th anniversary of Pokemon, next year's 10th anniversary of Go. Like, I think next year is going to be the biggest year in Pokemon history, which is very exciting. And also, Worlds in San Francisco. Yeah. And also, Pokemon Champions dropping. Like this. Oh, yeah. This next year will be the first time the Pokemon World Championships are played in Pokemon Champions as opposed to the latest game, which is awesome. And so, yeah, I'm very, very excited to see all that.
Yeah. Obviously, like, you've been in video games for a very long time, so you obviously know the power of Pokemon and the popularity of Pokemon. But, like, now that you're at where you're at now, and you see, like, I looked it up on Wikipedia of list of highest grossing IP, and Pokemon's number 1, and almost by far, right? Like, it almost doubles Mickey Mouse and Friends.
Yeah.
As far as what that is, right? Like, Was there a moment for you as you're experiencing all this where it clicks into place of like, oh, this is what it like, this makes sense now, or like you feel like you're, I guess, a part of that wave now?
Yeah, 100%. You know, I've described it before as quicksand, where it's like I've always, you know, it's always tickled the edge of my gaming periphery where I'm like, yeah, you know, I'm interested in it, but I don't have the nostalgia, blah 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 blah. So to have the show lay the groundwork for this is the world, to jump into the game and be the thing about it, but then even then I say it, I know it, and I know so many other people too, it's derogatory of like, it's a simple game. It's not like, you know what I mean? It's like, this isn't throwing shade as much as admitting what it is. It's a very basic game. Even Violet's very basic in terms of what you're doing. The storylines aren't amazing. You know, why are you playing this? What's going on? There's the collecting at blah, blah, blah. But it was like, when it really had its fucking hooks in me, where it was like, all right, Ben's down and I grab the Switch and I sit down and like, tonight I'm just catching. Or maybe I'm not. Like the DLC is a great example of like, oh, I want to knock all this out before we come back to work and it's redacted versus redacted or redacted. You know, I mean, there's a million games to review. But I'd start it up and be like, all right, cool. 4 of these gym leaders in DLC 2 to beat, no big deal. But then I'm like, oh wait, these are all new areas with all new Pokemon. And the next thing I know, it's been 45, 50 minutes of me just catching Pokemon. Then to go off, and then I think the DLC 2 has done such a great job of delivering what I wanted out of what I want out of Pokemon, period. Which is, hey, think about the makeup of your team, and hey, here is a challenge that you have to overcome. Whether it be like we were talking yesterday, Sam, of like you come to the one guy and he's like, cool, you can only fight me with Pokemon you've caught in this region, or fight these guys with Pokemon. And I'm like, that's a nice wrinkle. That's, you know, somebody. In the one you all made fun of me for, with the Greg way, where I was like, oh man, Pokemon is hard or whatever, knowing that people would come in and hear me actually talk about this one specific battle. It was tough because all of a sudden it was like, oh, you really got to think about your party makeup. Every other time I felt like in this game, I'm running with the squads you saw, and even if it was, oh, this is super effective against them, and my guy gets faints, this faints, eventually we'd run into a guy who's just like, I'm fucking 20 levels higher and it's super effective. Fuck you, fuck you, fuck you. And it was done. And it was like, okay, cool. Like I got out of it. Team Star, I was always ready for these fights to be like, they're going to test me. They're metal. I need to figure. And I'd come in like, oh, this was easy. Maybe a different item, variety at the end to fight the boss, but otherwise it was fine.
Yeah.
Throughout Scarlet and Violet, like there's in the core game, there's I'd say only like 3 or 4 of like the kind of like end game level fights that have any type of difficulty if you need to actually be strategic and think about what you're doing. But the entirety of the second DLC pack, the Indigo Disc, is a bit more focused on the battles, but something I really appreciate. I think that this is a great game for you to start this journey with, Greg, and like to have played so much. Is the DLC 1 was like fun, kind of more story-based thing, and the DLC 2 is very much just like, here's the battles, here's the double battles, like this is like what you could be doing if you take Pokemon very seriously, but it's also a great kind of jump on point to just catch up, because every legendary ever is accessible in the DLC, and every starter Pokemon ever, and it just being in a very simple 4 biome in one area, like it allows you to just get the most distilled, like, hey, let's take any of the adventure out of this. It is just you want water, go to the water area. You want fire, go to the little fire mountainy, whatever. It's all in one place, so it's just a good area to be able to catch all the Pokemon, actually find a team that you want, and like it just is a really, really good hey, you might not have played in a long time, this is the way to get really into it. And I just appreciate that, making my way through it for the first time now.
I think this is the other thing too of, you know, slight spoilers for the DLC for this game. I'm sure you've all played a million times or whatever.
I doubt it. I don't think that many people played those DLCs
I liked the story here so much better as well. Of like, you get in, you go to this new town in the first one, you meet new people, you meet this kid Kieran or whatever, and then by number 2, he's what I assume, my interpretation of having a rival in Pokemon's always been
the best,
which is like what you didn't have in Violet, right? We had the girl, but she's like she was always very nice.
I like her a lot. But
I like her fine, but I didn't feel like we were like rivals.
No, for sure, and that is one of my biggest criticisms of Pokemon is like they got rid of the rival idea a long time ago. It's always your fucking stupid little friends or whatever. They're way too nice. It's like, no, I want you to choose the third Pokemon that's strong against me, not the one that I'm strong against. Like, what are we doing? But I also get it, whatever. They solved that here. I think that the Kieran stuff is very, very good, and I want so much more of it. I know that a lot of people haven't seen this. I know, Bless, you haven't even gotten through. You didn't play the DLC,
No,
right?
I didn't play the DLC.
But you played the core game. You know that it does have some epic moments when it wants to, and the Area Zero stuff is fantastic. Cool. So cool.
Yeah, really great ending.
I want to show a 1-minute video that is one of the final battles of the DLC. So if you don't want any spoilers for this, go away for this 1 minute and come back. But I just need us all to see what Pokemon can be, because this is so fucking good.
What am I pulling?
Pull up the epic music from YouTuber McSally's long play. So shout out to McSally doing a long play of the second DLC here. I just need y'all to see the presentation of this and hear the fucking song.
Do we get sound?
Can we get sound out here?
I'm not getting any sound either.
Oh.
So that's fun.
It's all excited to see this.
But
Yeah.
again, no, I think that's what I feel both these DLCs are, of like what Pokemon could be in terms of telling. Because outside of this, again, the Team Star thing, and they're bullies, but they were bullied, and I'm like, what is going on? What is this all about? I don't care. And I just want to be the best, and you get to all these people like, I cared about having a fight here.
Bless, look at the presentation of this shit.
Imagine if it had voices.
I mean, I'm excited for just a cutscene. That's where Pokemon's at for me.
All that hard work. All of it. Right here, right now.
Hell yeah.
Kieran.
I love that this feels directed.
Yeah. Hold on, keep listening.
Quackers! Ogre Pond. This is a good scene.
Ooh.
Oh, yeah.
Like,
Oh my
what
God.
the fuck? It's so good. You see this, Greg? If you have Ogerpon on your team, he reacts to you having it because of the first DLC.
Yeah, of course,
No
of course.
way.
So fucking cool. Anyway,
That's cool.
I was playing this last night, and I was like watching some shit on TV while playing on my Switch with the volume of just little. And when this started, I was like, it's TV time. Like, we're going all in
Gia,
on
go
this.
to bed.
But it's so like, I just need to say this. Like, I love there's moments throughout Scarlet and Violet, the main game and in the DLC, that have this level of like direction to it. And it's like, I just want so much more of this. And like,
Yeah.
imagine that with voice acting. Like,
Oh,
imagine
yeah.
how hard it would go. And we've had it before. Pokemon Battle Revolution, Pokemon Stadium. They would have light little like announcers saying
my
what's going
God.
on. That's all we need. That's not all we need. We need so much. But God, I wish we had
That
it.
would be just such a step forward for it. Yeah, and talk.
Quick question from the chat that I'm also wondering. Big S, did Toby Fox do the DLC music as well?
I think so. I don't know for sure though, but that sounds like it.
I'm pretty sure, based on a comment when I was bitching, or not bitching, when Jen was bitching about Ed Sheeran doing the credits, somebody
yeah.
called that out, I thought.
That was definitely a moment for me where like I got to the Ed Sheeran credits, and I think that was still when I was reviewing the game.
I don't know. That hit.
And
for
I was
me.
like, I need to talk to somebody about this. Like, this game is actually special. And that was back when it was like, you know, the big conversation was about how badly that game ran and all that
Yeah.
shit, right? But I remember coming into work, and I think Tim asked me how was it, and like, I forget exactly what I said, but I was definitely like, yo, this shit is fucking
You sold me
fire.
on the game.
Yeah,
Like,
I was
go-
like, this
I've-
is really good.
I have never been in a hype cycle for any video game as more of a hater than I was going into Scarlet and Violet, and then
Yeah.
like here I am now.
And I was so I think as I was recommending, I was like, I think I was shocked by my own like impressions. I was like, dude, this is fucking good, and I kind of can't believe it, even though it runs terribly.
So, Greg, I want to get to now your review of Pokemon Scarlet and Violet. The game came out in 2022. It is August 28th, 2025. You've now beat it.
Yeah.
Are you ready to give a score on the Kind of Funny scale?
Yeah, I am, but I think it's also probably, and I know this sounds goofy as being a professional video game reviewer for nearly 20 years. I feel like it's almost one of those, you got to look at this as my first Pokemon game, which I know isn't technically true. I did Let's Go, but it was something to do with Jen. Like, I don't remember anything about it, really, so I just don't count that. Whereas this is the first time I'm like, I have the screenshot of my chart of what's powerful against what that I have open with me. And again, like, I think that's, you asked about, you know, if getting into this, I understand more of the why it's this, you know what I mean? And it was the weird excitement in me of, okay, cool. Like, the photo I use is from Ben's Pokemon magazine, you know what I mean? That I picked up at the the supermarket. And so, like, the excitement of I'm getting ready to do this important thing. So I open up the magazine and I have it in front of me to be able to look at the types and stuff. And like, And I a shout out to Ignacio Rojas, of course, kind of funny best friend. I talked about one of the apps I was using for a Pokedex. He's like, no, get this one. And if you want to, you can pay, $6 or whatever for no ads. Like I'll do that. Pay the $6 because it's such a good app that I should give it a shout out. But it's like I have my little magazine out. I have this thing out, and I'm talking about Master Decks. That's the one I use. I have this out. I'm looking at it. Like that's all new to me in terms of this game. And so I think we always talk about like how, oh man, jaded people are, how many, Tim knows them inside and out and what he's seen and what he hasn't. Like, and I'm also playing the Switch 2 edition, which solves all the issues that I didn't really, I touched Switch 1 for 10 hours, so I saw it ran poorly and all that jazz. I'm not trying to do it. But like talking about Switch 2, talking about all the DLC, talking about what it is, like my head wants to try to put it into the 8s. My heart wants to give it a 9. But again, like, am I talking about the time I'm having? Like, I think that's what's the dissertation that would be from me in a college class of just like, no doubt I've had an amazing time with this game, but mechanically, graphically, no VO, audio, like that means to me as a critic means it can't be a 9 game. That means I think it's an 8 probably. It's an 8. It's right there where it's like I'm playing it sometimes and I'm like, why am I so fucking addicted to this? Why am I so into catching these guys? Why fighting this thing and doing and like driving your bike around and being this awkward animation of jumping in and out? It's like there's all that real stuff going on that I think I'm saying is an 8. It's a great game. But then there's the fucking magic of Pokemon that takes it so far above that in terms of the time you're having, if that makes sense.
I mean, dude, last night the last couple days playing through the second DLC because I really just kind of started it up. I got to the point where you're in the terrarium and you're allowed to go face off against the Elite Four of the section. And the last couple days doing all 4 of those, I was kind of not into it. It was just like, all right, I'm just going through the motions. Like I know what I'm doing here. Like just kind of clicking A lot, right?
Yeah.
But then by the time you start getting to the battles, I just found myself like, oh my God, I love this so much. Like it's like a trance. You just get sucked into it where it's like, I really feel like it takes a couple of your Pokemon fainting where you're like, oh shit.
I gotta pay attention.
I gotta pay attention. And when you have to pay attention, it's really good.
Yeah. And that's the one criticism I would have, right? Of like, we're talking about these DLCs and how good they are. I can talk about, the ending of the Violet in general, going into the crater and all that jazz. But I would say so many of those hours, I didn't have to pay attention. It was just mash A. Look, and I like it of the what's super effective, whatever, do that, blah, blah, blah. But again, there's a magic to this entire thing. Saying trance, I think, is the best way to put it. Where, I will be in a trance playing this game. And it is that I don't think until the next one comes around, I'll ever get it off my Switch because it will be, let's just go catch some stuff. Let's go, what can I do?
Are you trying to catch them all? Is that interesting?
No, it is interesting. It's very, very interesting. And if we didn't have this job, I'd be all about it. Because, foolishly, when I was leaving, I was like, I'd love to come back for this Gamescast and have it not only beat all the DLCs and have caught them all, but then Ben fell in love with it, and then it was a family vacation, so it wasn't like I was grinding on it nonstop. And now that I'm back, right, it was Metal Gear. It's Redacted. As soon as that's done, it's Redacted 2. Redacted 3 is on the horizon. There's so many things to do here that I'm not going to actually get back to. I probably won't get back to do more Violet stuff until way after we either review or just play Legends, where it'll be like, well, that's going to, I bet the way it'll all shake out that way down there.
Yeah.
But I can't tell you what a great time I've had with it, how much I love this IP now, and how much I'm enjoying being a part of that. And again, like, I think I'm so spoiled being a dad where, Ben came out and was like super into Ghostbusters. Yeah. You know what I mean? Superman. Yeah. Like there was a moment like, Jen grew up a Pokemon fan. And like when we put on the episode, she's like, oh, this is a great one. She's talking to me the way I talk to her about Ghostbusters or a wrestling match or whatever. You know what I mean? And so there was that thing where I turned to her one day where he was like, this is Jen being, as a mom, being an expert in something Ben loves. Because we will just be driving the car and he's looking out the window and go, Mom, what's strong against rock type? You know what I mean? He's just thinking about Pokemon and Jen has the answer in a way that I'd be like, let me look at my chart. I don't know. Jen knows it, right? And it's like, I turned to her one day after some question or whatever he was doing or what he's playing. He just got his Pokemon Crocs yesterday. Big day.
Hell yeah.
And I was just like, so are you just loving this? You know what I mean? You finally get this where he's into something that means so much to you, right? And she had a beautiful answer about it, but it's a very cool time right now in the Miller household. And
I love it.
Yeah.
Like
this is the best case scenario.
Yeah.
I know. I'm excited to when I think about my Pokemon upbringing, right? Like, I don't think I played Pokemon Blue or like a Pokemon mainline game until like my 4th or 5th Pokemon thing, right?
Yeah,
Like
yeah.
it went from the show to the cards to Pokemon Stadium to then I think I got Pokemon Blue and started playing that on my cousin's Game Boy until I got it right. And like, you know, I between now and whatever the next generation of Pokemon is, let's say Gen 10 is, you know, November 2026. I wonder how many different things are going to be out by then, right? Of like if there's a new Pokemon pinball game or if there's like a new like there's so many different ways to get into it that I'm excited to see like how that forms his experience.
He cherishes the cards. That one pack he has, they gave us sleeves. We got like a Pokemon care package, and they gave us sleeves. So he's got them all on his sleeves, and he'll just sit on the couch and go through them and put them down. I'm like, all right,
yeah,
man.
I love that.
Tim, before we get too far off, what would you score Pokemon right now in the year of our Lord 2025?
God, if it's hard for you to answer, it's even harder for me to answer. Yeah, because when I reviewed it on the old scale we had, I'm pretty sure I gave it a 4 out of 5. That we love like a 5 out of 5,
Yeah.
right? Like that's,
Yeah.
I think that was like the origin of us saying all of that.
Mhm.
Yeah, I'd give it an 8. It's great. I think especially the Switch 2 version. It's the game's ugly as sin. And I've no performance updates can change that. But there's a novelty to it. I said this back then, and I still feel it now playing the DLC 2. Like it reminds me of Mario 64 in all the right ways, where just moving around's fun and getting places is fun. And I like how you can climb anything. Like you can go anywhere. Like they give you tools to do all that. And it's very different than some of the other games. And I can even argue it's a 7.5 just because of the amount of things of the core game that I actually don't like. Like the Team Star stuff is, I'd say, a downside to it all. Terrestrializing is maybe my least favorite of the gimmicks that they've ever had.
I'm still not sure exactly what it does. I mean, granted, I'm hours in, but I'm like, when I don't terrestrial size and they hit me, it's not like I'm immediately dead. So it's like, is it making you super
It changes their
powerful?
type, and like you get different stab, the same type attack bonus.
And it's always just the most boring thing of like their last Pokemon they're going to use it on. So
and
it's
the
like,
animations.
I'll
take
leave it for my
forever,
last
and
Pokemon to get these dumb balloons on his head.
the raids really, 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 really suck.
Yeah.
They're implemented horribly with the worst lag of all time, and performance issues don't fix that because it's internet based. Like a lot of downsides to it from a core gameplay side. I'm so happy Mega Evolutions of the Focus coming back. It's been way too long. Those are my favorite. I think the coolest too. So yeah, a lot of downsides, but I feel like the end of the game is so strong. Like the post Elite Four stuff, the Area Zero stuff is so special and cool. And so much of what they did, like even just the way that the Pokemon Center and the Pokemart and the TM making thing all being just one station that you can find in each town. So much about this game that I love, but God, I really can't wait to see what this game looks like a couple iterations from now, a couple generations, because Pokemon still feels like they're designing games for handheld consoles only, like they used to on the Game Boy. And it's like, nah, man, we're competing with the big dogs. Let's get the Final Fantasy VII Rebirth team on a Pokemon game. You know what I mean?
Let's
just do it.
It is kind of crazy though that like, you know, Pokemon is so one of a kind, and I think there is an inherent quality to it, to where even though they put out a game that feels messy, feels like it has, you know, Tim can go off and talk about like the list of things that could be better. There's still nobody else that can make a Pokemon game that hits like Pokemon, which is insane to me, right? And like, there's so much that goes into that, obviously, right? But like, you know, we talk about the clones, we talk about whether it's a Power World, or I think there was one called Koromon that was like an indie one that I played a little bit of, and like that game was cool, that game was quality, right? But I think there's something to be said about what Pokemon, the Pokemon Company and Game Freak are able to pull off with just the inherent, damn, this shit is just fun to play. There's a gameplay loop here. There is a design aspect here that just makes it hit that nobody else is able to replicate on this level.
And there's something that it's really hard to put into words that make sense to people that don't have the nostalgia for any of this. But I will never forget seeing an Umbreon in the wild in Scarlet and Violet, or Porygon, or like these Pokemon that used to be like hard to get. Like, oh, you need to make the choice for your Eevee of what you're evolving it to. You need to trade friends to get the different forms, like all that. Yeah. Them just in the wild, a wild Dragonite? Yeah. Are you fucking kidding me? You can just catch a Dragonite? Like, that stuff is so cool to me, 36-year-old man.
Well, again, like, you know, the layers to it where, like, I just hadn't thought about Pokemon in a very specific way, if that makes sense. The game comes at me, and I get the team, and I assemble it. And so one day early on, when we were playing, Ben was like, "Do you have a Pikachu?" And we look through all the boxes. I'm like, oh no, I don't have a Pikachu. He's like, can we get one? I'm like, sure. And I Google it, and it's like, oh, hold on, man. I got to eat an avocado sandwich. I got to go over here.
Oh, sandwiches suck too.
They suck, but it was like a nice wrinkle of like, oh, there's some shit you got to pull to get the thing you want if it's a special thing.
Yeah. Let's see how much you like it when you catch every goddamn one of these fuckers. I have the whole Pokedex in Scarlet and Violet, the whole Pokedex in DLC 1, halfway through DLC 2. And now that I'm back, bless.
You're
I'm
mad, man.
stuck, man. I'm
You're
stuck.
mad,
Gotta
man.
finish it.
Gotta finish it.
God.
Gotta catch them all.
We got. I know we're a little long here, but we have a lot of super
We're having
chats
a
that
great
I want to get
review.
to here.
Praise great.
Joshua Mitchell says, "What new megas or even regular / regional evolutions are you hoping to see?" I want to see them spread the love. I would love to see all of the starter Pokemon get a mega evolution form for their third stage. I think we're almost there at this point, but might as well round it all out. Do you guys have any answers?
No, I don't. Sorry. Yeah, I mean, I got Holucha.
Yeah, I'm new to this region, right? Like I haven't played Pokemon X and Y, so Mega Evolutions are a new thing for me. So I'm excited to see the ones that are in here already. Like the Victory Bell thing, it's such sicko shit.
It is.
But honestly, I kind of want one.
Icy Wiener says Tim should never tell Greg about his nightmares. He'll turn them into his reality. Yeah, I know. That's just the life that I live. Alexander says KF should do a Pokemon game stream, winner reviews, ZA. That's the thing is like I don't have a team, despite it being like every game I just have a different team. You know, I kind of like just jump into it, and I would with Pokemon Champions coming out, like I am more interested than ever in taking it seriously and like trying to come up with these are my 6.
Okay.
Flying Penguin says Greg may have only played 20 minutes, but it was 2 vertical slices. If I'm correct, let's have Greg play the first hour and see what he thinks. Nintendo.
First
Let him
hour.
do it.
Can't do that.
Yeah.
Can't do just the first hour.
Juno says 3 weeks early birthday tax because I'll be without service in the wilderness.
Oh.
But Greg, please tell me ZA is an $80. Happy early birthday there. Be careful in the wilderness. And I'm pretty sure it's 70.
I was going to say, they did put out a thing for it, right?
King Vin says I spent all my coin
70.
on. I spent all my coin on this super chat. I can't afford a Switch 2, but I'm not sure if it's worth buying one just yet. Do you think ZA would be drastically worse of an experience on Switch 1? Yes.
If Nintendo's showing you anything and the Pokemon Company is showing you anything, yes.
Yes. Yelsing says Quaquaval, like Carnival from Brazil. That
Okay.
makes sense.
Quaquaval. Quaquaval.
It's not like when you hit the Google thing to let him speak.
That's what I was going for.
Leprechaun says a Persian in the end game. That's crazy, Greg. That's funny. Yeah, exactly. And then Andrew Brown says Incineroar is one of the greatest VGC mons ever. Yeah, that's the other thing. Like Incineroar is super OP, super. It's like Bayonetta and Smash. When everyone's just like it's so overused. Street Shadow says Greg reviewing this is the best. That perspective of a dad who sees the joy in the face of their kid. Seeing the joy of a kid really changed how I judge tons of media like movies, games, and shows. And then Street Shadow also says, what's your favorite Pokemon game moment? Mine's the end of Silver / Soul Silver and the final battle plus getting my shiny Umbreon.
Damn.
I mean, yeah, you took it. That is the greatest moment ever, period.
Yeah.
That might be the greatest moment of my life. I got married. Some great stuff's happened to me.
Yeah.
At the end of fucking Silver.
That's
Holy
really where it
shit.
was at, yeah.
Yeah. I'll say finding Mewtwo for the first time. Pokemon Blue.
Big one.
Yeah.
Yeah. God. And then Jay Baseball says, will Greg play Coliseum when it comes to Nintendo Switch Online?
I don't know what Coliseum is.
Coliseum was the first GameCube Pokemon game.
Okay.
It was essentially a sequel to Stadium, so it's mainly focused on the battling and like
Okay.
using your Game Boy Pokemon on TV. But there was also a full RPG campaign that was different, way more adult, and there wasn't gym battles and things like that. It was
Interesting.
And your starter Pokemon, you had Espeon and Umbreon, which is cool as shit.
Okay.
But I don't know that it'd be your vibe.
Yeah, I
these
doubt
days.
it. I doubt it.
But I loved it back in the day. And that's it for the super chats. Thank you so much for that. Greg, any closing words on your new
I'm so
Pokemon
excited to
journey?
be excited about Pokemon. I'm really looking forward to Z to A, see what that's all about. I'm looking forward to it. It is that thing where playing Z to A was fun. This is different. It's cool. But it was like, well, I'm going to be more excited for Gen 10 for sure.
Yeah. Hell yeah, dude.
Hell yeah.
Hell yeah.
What a time. Thank you for hanging out with us. We're about to do Prey in review, continuing Alien versus Predator in review. It's going to be a good time. Until next time, I love you all. Goodbye.